All right, so last week on the worst takes,
Yeah, what's up?
we mentioned so many times that we heard Fox meowing, right?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah,
I couldn't
dude.
fucking hear that cat. Why did I say it? Why did I fucking say it out loud?
I know.
Like a fucking moron.
It's okay, hon. It's all right.
Like a fucking moron. Just breaks my pen.
Don't do that. Yeah, you're gonna get ink everywhere. I was gonna say blood.
It's gonna be an ink bukkake everywhere, dude.
Ew. Like a squid?
Like a squid, yeah.
Like a squid bukkake?
Yeah, squid
And
bukkake.
they just ink everywhere?
Squidward bukkake? My favorite porno scene from SpongeBob Bolt Pants. Is that what it's called? Is that what the SpongeBob porn parody is called? I don't remember.
I do not know what the SpongeBob porn parody is called. Like, can you believe in Finding Nemo? Every time they made that kid ink, they were making him cum his pants. Hey everybody, welcome to
The podcast will save the
You
Fuck,
fucking
I
did
fucked
it
it
this
up.
week.
Because I said it. I said the worst takes during the intro.
Oh, you did.
And like a fucking like a silly
Like
Billy.
a fish to a barrel, baby.
Like a fish to a barrel. I'm never gonna live that down.
Never. Never, ever.
Fuck.
Bro.
Hey TikTok, remember when I said fish to a barrel? Can you imagine if I did another TikTok where I literally just talked about
Fish
the
barrel?
fish barrel again?
Because that was like our big
that
TikTok.
that was the big one. Not even really, but
Yeah, like we sell out, but
we
it's
sell
fish
out.
barrel.
Hey guys, get your fish barrel merch at www.apwstr.sellout.biz.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like animate a shitty fish swimming into a barrel.
Whoop.
And then like we put that up and then it's like and then it's like
Yeah.
the red circle and then, you know, like all the stupid shit.
Yo, okay, off topic, completely off topic. But speaking of .biz, because this is in my head.
Oh.
Fucking I know. So I'm friends with someone from film school, right? I haven't talked to them in years, but they liked a tweet of mine recently,
Okay.
and they were part of this like big film production, not big film production. They were trying to like a bunch of graduates from film school, right? They tried to
I
make this
remember
film
this, yeah.
production, yeah. You don't know what their fucking website is? It ends with the .biz, like unironically.
That's kind of dope,
It's
actually.
kind of, I mean,
That's kind of pog, bro.
so I mean,
That's kind of fucking.
come on, guys.
It's kind of alpha. I'm not
.com.
gonna lie.
Reject modernity, embrace tradition. You
Do
know
you
what
think
I'm
there's
saying?
like a dot alpha?
Bro?
And if there is a
there's
dot
not,
alpha-
if not yet, we need to make that.
I want a dot beta or a dot sigma.
Yo, fucking
Shut up, Sarah. Dot sigma.
dude. Then
Fuck
you're
yeah, bro.
a Sigma lady, dude.
I know there's like dot party and or whatever bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. If there's dot party, there's got to be a fucking. You gotta have dot Sigma. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As long as there's a party,
There's
there's
gotta
a
be Sigmas,
Sigma.
there's gotta be Alphas, and
Yeah.
there's definitely gonna be some Betas at that party. You know,
you know what I'm fucking
saying?
saying? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, because the two things that we watched today were pretty heavy, ended up being like kind of heavy conversation. I have a thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if you saw it. It's a TikTok I sent you about Sonic the Hedgehog from all the themes in Sonic all the cutscenes in Sonic 06, the video game.
Played together at the same time?
No, it's a fan dub of Sonic 06.
Oh, yeah, you sent me that YouTube video. I didn't have time to watch it today because I was rushing to get
Oh my
over
God.
here.
It's so fucking funny. It's my favorite, I don't know, my favorite TikTok of the week.
This is Sarah's TikTok of the week. And then we make it, there's the TikTok logo. It comes down and then it like shakes a little bit and then it goes away.
It's Sonic explaining to Silver and Blaze about why girls always put him in the friend zone because he's a gamer.
Only gamers get stuck in the friend zone.
And then Silver goes, but I'm not a gamer, so, you know, maybe she'll like me. And then Sonic goes, that just makes you a beta male cuck. It's
Bro,
the
you're getting
funniest
fucking
thing.
cooked by that.
I have to show you it after this fucking
I
shit.
can't wait.
Go watch. I think it's called Sonic 2006 fan dub. and it's like
Was it a YouTube video? I thought you sent
hours long.
Yeah, it's a YouTube video. Okay, that
somebody
makes sense.
took a clip of it and then posted it on TikTok and then gave the credit in it.
Okay.
So I went to go watch the thing and I watched like 30 minutes of it.
And that was your day today before I got here.
Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. Holy shit, bro.
I like how it's you are watching like Sonic as you work. Meanwhile, I'm packing up for moving in here while I watch an urban planning podcast.
We're two very different
people, guys.
It's wild that we mesh, you know what I mean?
So the urban planning podcast I listen to, it's called Well, There's Your Problem. It's actually very funny. Go watch it.
It sounds like it might be funny, yeah.
Because they talk about exclusively engineering disasters.
Oh, interesting.
And like every single horrible thing that could ever happen.
Yeah.
They did a whole like 2.5 hour episode on 9/11.
Okay.
So and the
I don't know why
first,
that makes me laugh now.
But okay, so the way it's presented, right? It's it's presented as like a slideshow, as if it were like a thing you see in like your class, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing is, it's the gang never forgets.
Oh, the gang never forgets.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
God, it's so good. Go, that's my endorsement. That's my podcast of the week. You had a TikTok, I had a podcast, and then for mine, it's going to be a podcast logo coming down, shaking a little bit, and going down. As opposed to me doing it, I'm explaining it to you guys as if it were happening.
For mine, it's going to be the thumbnail of the video coming from right to left. And I think I actually am opposite. I think I should be going like this, from right to left.
Right to left. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Across the screen, and Sonic has a little smiley face on him.
Don't you guys love how sausage is made?
Yeah.
So anyway, we
Which one do you want to fucking talk about,
media
man?
Analysis to get to.
Because that's what this fucking podcast is, huh?
Becoming.
Huh, Josh?
Yeah, yes.
Huh?
Yes, it is. Damn it.
I started this too. I started this with my fucking music.
You started with Bad Music Corner, and this is just the evolution. Now it's just Bad Corner.
I've created a monster. Call me Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay, Sarah, you have an option now. You have a real big option right now.
That's my favorite ska band, Real Big Option.
Real Big Option. You got an option. Sarah, you have an option. Yeah. We already have 2 podcasts. We have a podcast, We'll Save This. What was originally meant to be a storytelling podcast where we talk about our lives because we're egotistical maniacs.
Yeah.
And then we now have the sister podcast, The Worst Takes, that's very specific to politics, which won't even be true for today because this one will delve a little bit into politics.
Yeah.
But whatever. So do we make a third
podcast for media analysis?
And we call it Bad Corner because that's what we started as.
The Bad Corner?
The Bad Corner.
I don't know.
And then it's just a corner. That's the logo. And it has a crack in it.
No, it's one of us sitting, or both of us sitting in a corner with dunce caps on.
That might just be the podcast Will Save This relationship now.
Yeah.
Instead of dunce, it says podcaster on it.
Yeah, exactly. That would be...
No, it would be musician and gamer and falling things.
All your notes are gone. You're flying solo with this.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're going to be in a dialogue with yourself.
I'm not a quitter.
Watch
we
out.
We gotta talk about Bo Burnham first.
Yeah.
But hold on,
I guess that's the one we gotta talk about first.
We gotta talk about first. Hold on, I gotta go get some notes. Hold on.
You're gonna throw your pen and then you can't use your pen.
I'm getting over there in the first place. There's a plan, guys. There's a plan.
This little butt. Can you see his little butt? No. Fuck.
Oh my god, why did I do this? Why did I make this?
This is so... Wow. This is a lot. And then you threw it on the ground again, bro. Because you want to be all flippant. So, Josh.
My ribs hurt. Sorry, continue.
Your ribs hurt? I'm sorry.
My chest hurts. No, it's fine. I did that. You don't need to apologize. That was for comedy. That was called slapstick, everybody.
You're telling me that wasn't all of the chest beatings I gave you before this podcast?
You're telling me what that wasn't a recreation of a scene from Schindler's List? Sorry, Titanic. So that would be a boat.
Okay, side note, my dad couldn't watch Titanic because he was a boat captain.
Oh, and
so he went in theaters to see Titanic.
Yeah.
and then saw that it was a ship sinking, even though he must have known it was about
It's
a
about
ship.
the fucking Titanic.
Yeah,
like,
about a ship sinking. But he saw it and then he couldn't handle it, and then he walked out and was like, "Fucking guy, that fucking captain was an idiot." It's like, yeah, Dad. Yeah,
that's the whole point of the Titanic was.
That's the fucking point of it. Fucking them, it was hilarious.
God.
I think that's why I never watched Jaws, too.
Fucking captain was stupid. Got eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Deserved it.
I just found out fucking my friend just texted me about Deep Blue Sea, and I was like, "What's that?" And she was like, "What?" It's fucking dope. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I have literally never seen like an out at sea movie
I get
ever
that.
because I just
I mean, they're all the same. There is something out at sea, and you either go crazy
Yeah,
or
it's like
there's
Jurassic
something or
Park.
there's nothing or
you know, it's like a theme.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a thriller.
Water plus people equals bad.
Yeah,
It's
like
a pretty obvious.
I haven't seen Castaways
line.
with Tom Hanks. I haven't seen that.
Plane plus water equals bad.
Yeah, right.
Plus volleyball equals good though. Plus fleshlight you can put into volleyball is better.
Where would the fleshlight go on Wilson?
In his mouth. That's the only fucking hole that Wilson
put it in his
theoretically has. Huh?
Put it in his butt.
Okay, so you're gonna tell me that Tom Hanks, American treasure, Tom Hanks, is going to
Tread lightly where you're going. You're just telling me an American treasure can't fuck something in the butt?
No. American
Where are you
treasures
going with this? Huh?
of a volleyball?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the gay agenda right here.
No, I'm telling you that the only butts that Tom Hanks would be pulling are solid 8 to 10s, all right? Not a volleyball. You can face fuck a 1, you know? You can get away with that.
My God.
As
Jesus
we all know,
Christ.
the numbering system as it is intended is 1 is Wilson and 8 and above are regular women. So
Pretty sure Wilson's a 0, which is pretty much half an 8. Because he's a circle. Oh my God. Do you know how much I was thinking about that as soon as you started going in about numbers?
That's a good joke. That's a really good joke. I'll give you props. We finally had a good joke,
Then
everybody.
I don't even say the right shape at the end. I say a circle instead of a sphere. It's the funniest thing.
Who cares? You did it.
Oh my
the
fucking
joke was
God.
there. You did it. You did it.
God
We
bless.
finally had a good joke.
Bro, I'm not going to have kids, but I'm going to be that old person on the street that tells all the funny jokes.
Hell yeah,
It's all
dude.
the kids.
I believe you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
I'll be like, oh yeah, your face
You're
looks
gonna
like
be
a flower.
You're gonna be
a
the
cauliflower. And the kids are going to be like, oh.
Aw, she's senile.
Oh, great. They're gonna be like, old lady Sarah is so funny. Oh man.
Speaking of funny,
Yeah.
what's the guy's name?
I totally forgot.
Hold on, I wrote it down too. I wrote it fucking down.
I know it's-
Andrew Klavan, I believe. Klavan.
Klavan.
It's Andrew
Klavan.
Klavan, I think.
Klavan?
Klavan.
Mm.
So this is welcome to the worst podcast. That's not a good way to blend a podcast will save this relationship and the worst takes. I just realized.
The worst podcast.
Fuck.
A podcast will save these takes.
Hey!
Hey!
That'll be our national tour when we have to eventually blend them together.
Yeah, right.
So we
Fuck. No, we'll have 2 different shows.
yeah.
Of both of them us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do the early show is going to be the podcast will save this, and then the late show is going to be the worst takes.
Yeah, baby.
We're going to say a bunch of F words, the fuck words.
And we're gonna
Sorry.
say fuck.
A lot more.
And like shit.
Don't bring your kids to the late show is all
Hey,
we're saying.
yeah,
Don't bring them to the early show either.
Yeah, don't bring your. I want to see your fucking kid. Okay.
All right, Andrew Klavan. This is an open letter from a podcast will save this relationship.
Oh, we're talking to the guy, huh?
We're gonna explain why his video's bad.
I mean, if we are talking to the guy, this guy, you're an idiot.
You're an idiot. End of letter. So
That's kind of it. Yeah.
So
like you're very obviously an idiot.
Andrew, my boy, decided to make a. He works for the Daily Call or Daily Wire, actually. Ben Shapiro's very, very special little newspaper, former newspaper. Sorry.
Yeah.
And former digital content powerhouse.
Yeah, they say fucking
the New York Times is a former newspaper,
which is like strangely
so funny.
It's really funny.
I don't know. That's come on the most realistic newspaper in the entire country. It's actually fake news, guys. Now
it's fake news, bro.
Got him. So Andrew, he made a video talking about why he loves Inside, Bo Burnham's new special,
which he apparently did actually like, but then he
theoretically
had the weirdest
allegedly likes.
Yeah, it's like kind of like fucking what's that guy with the big chin that does the late night stuff?
The big chin?
The big chin, Jay Leno.
Oh, it's yeah, like
Jay Leno, where he'll have people on, but then he'll kind of be like shitty to them.
Just dogging on them the whole time.
And then he'll be like, anyway, your movie's great. Go watch the
movie's great. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know his actual
whole family loves it.
Jay Leno.
Hey, we all love the movies here. I think that's close to it. I don't remember.
It's a very high pitched.
He's dead to me after he killed Conan.
Yeah.
So
same.
But Andrew decided to, he watched Inside on Netflix, like the rest of us, like a good old normie, you know.
This guy was trying to be hip with the kids.
And he loved it so much.
His little granddaughter was like, you gotta watch this Bo Burnham guy. Yeah. I think you would really like it.
I think you would really like it.
He started watching and was like, she doesn't fucking know me at all.
Fuck, I guess if my daughter likes it, I guess I have to pretend to like it now,
Maybe my daughter will talk to me if I
right.
watch Inside.
So fucking what is it? Andrew, a very good satirist, has decided to critique Inside from a conservative angle, but not the conservative angle you're thinking.
From a Christian angle.
Hey,
maybe.
So, I mean, we've talked about Inside in this podcast at length, I think for a good 40 minutes or so.
We're stands.
The one critique I have, there's someone actually commented on that video about our Inside review, about how we're too
eager to get into Inside.
Eager to get into it and very sympathetic towards Bo Burnham, which I guess is a fair critique. I think maybe the sympathetic one I'm not too sure of. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
I think I agree with that.
But I think did we go in and we I think the one regret talking about Inside as early as we did is that we did it too early, because I think we've talked about it a bunch more since then. I have a couple more different opinions, a couple more different things. That being said, my overall feeling for Inside is still about the same. It's a masterpiece in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I still listen to a lot of the songs.
Same.
So I don't know. That being said, though, I think if you're going to critique it,
there are some critiques.
There are some good critiques. I think there are even relatively easier ways to critique it from a conservative angle.
Yeah, there's some pretty good conservative angles you can fucking take at this, which is exactly what you fucking just said, which is awesome.
Yeah, so you could very easily so
just fucking recap what you said. It's
thank
hilarious.
you. Yeah,
you're welcome. Just in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't know what he said.
I think if you wanted to try and critique it, I think you could. Okay. There's angles that you could.
Yeah.
Because Inside is in one way or another pretty left leaning at the very least. Yeah, at the very least, you can say it's left leaning.
As soon as you mention neoliberals, you're
neoliberal fascists are destroying the left. I think you're
if you're mentioning the left eating itself, you're not only are you terminally online, but you're also extremely left.
Yeah,
you know what
so
I mean?
like obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you wanted to try and critique it, I think it would be a bad idea. I really think there's not a lot of, because it's a very simplistic leftism, I feel, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, actually. I think it's a very good way to introduce people to theoretically left-leaning ideologies. I think it's a good way to also critique the internet, especially as a lot of people, especially our age and younger, are just online all the time. I think there's good critiques of the internet. There's good critiques of society and how we're going to kill ourselves through climate change.
Yeah.
And if you're a conservative, and you wanted to try and, for lack of a better word, whitewash and destroy with facts and logic this special.
Well, it's if you're a conservative, you want to minimize people, especially young people, seeing this special. And so how do you do that? You get to their parents.
Yes.
And who are their parents that are in your audience, you might ask? Old people who believe in God. You know what I mean?
So what if I told you guys that the real problem with Bo Burnham's Inside, the main critique,
is that he doesn't have a relationship with God.
And because of that, that's why he had to put in a disclaimer halfway through that you shouldn't kill yourself. That's not what he said. That wasn't the argument. Sorry.
Well,
but
it is, though. It's that he doesn't have a
but,
relationship with God, and that's why he wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
But that's why, no. Okay, sorry. That's not necessary.
Pretty much it.
The argument technically is that because he doesn't have a relationship with God, there isn't a sound reason not to kill yourself.
No, I don't think
that's worse, I think.
I don't think that's the main thing. I think it's what he actually says is, if you do not have a relationship with God, you are constantly in a dialogue with yourself.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention at the beginning, this guy talks about how he's okay with whoever watches him being a Christian or being not religious. However, if you're not religious, then
you're an empty husk of a fucking
understand
person.
You because your philosophy doesn't work. But also, philosophy is a way of talking yourself into not having a relationship with God, and therefore it's all bullshit. Now, let's talk about the philosophy of Inside being that it's from a guy who we presume does not have a relationship with God.
Yeah, that's
and
another
is
thing.
Constantly in a dialogue with himself, which is the most batshit, stupid, insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
The main argument that he starts off with, which is what before we even get into that, to summarize what you just said, I suppose, is what he said, which is no objective good without God. Yeah, that was the main. That's the simplistic way he put it, and that was how he. That's like his thesis. That's a different
point. Is that being with Christianity is what builds your morals. And so if you don't believe in God, you don't have morals, which is like the classic anti-atheist. This is not a nuanced take on atheism. This is not a new, interesting, fresh Christian take.
Hot new conservatism here.
This is fucking
same shit you've heard for the past 22 years.
Centuries. Centuries of people who hate atheism and or hate atheists or anyone who doesn't believe in their religion, and demonizing them by saying, oh, well, you must be a bad person if you're not like me. And you can see how much of a slippery slope that might be into.
But Sarah, I think that some Christians are do use Christianity in a bad way, and I think some non-Christians do things in a good way.
Yeah, and then he does this whole bullshit.
Yeah.
And of course, what he's saying is factually true, but he doesn't believe in that because he just said he doesn't think you're a good person if you're not a Christian.
And then after saying all that, he goes,
or rather that you're capable of doing good.
Yeah, you're incapable of good because there's no objective good without Christ or God or some other higher being, which is very dumb. I think I pointed out to you is that isn't a relationship with God inherently a relationship with the self or our perceptions of the idea of a higher being, which is
right. Yeah,
as an explanation of chaos, or an explanation of purpose,
So in my philosophy class, which apparently didn't mean jack shit.
Your philosophy class, so you gotta get a refund because apparently it reduced your relationship with God, Sarah.
Well, it explained this predicament, which is nice, that I can now use this in this context because that was a lot of money I paid for some stupid ass shit. But if it didn't work,
send the money relating to 3 credit hours of Sarah's FSU to SO Squintin 27 1 at Twitter.
My Ko-fi page.
Pay my student loans page.
Pay my student loans page. So Soren Kierkegaard, in his musings at a gravesite, says in the beginning, the soul of the person, wherein you find your relationship with God. And he uses this as like a building block in the beginning of it to go into our duty to ourselves and our duty to God, and therefore our duty to ourselves. So this is the beginning. This is this baby shit that you need to learn.
Toddler shit, you know?
Toddler shit, which is your soul is your brain relating it to itself. That's where your soul lies, is you realizing that you are a being and you are a person, and that is where God is. Is within the relation of itself. It's within the spirit of the relation of yourself. So, and that's a very simplistic way. If you actually go and read the sentence in At a Gravesite, it's mind-numbingly complicated. It's like when I first read it, I was like, I'm not going to pass this class. I was like, I'm not smart enough to deal with this. But then it becomes, a little bit more nuanced, and you get to understand it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the building block for much of Soren Kierkegaard's concepts, which is existentialism under Christianity. So to hear a Christian man say, you don't have to analyze. You're not constantly analyzing. You don't have to critically think if you have a relationship to God, I think should offend a lot of Christians, because that's
for sure, yeah,
fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think it belittles the whole point of, like, the whole reason why we have brains in the first place is to think and to removing that from anything, I think, is very offensive. I think it's just very it's offensive to your ability to stay faithful to your religion, or your ability to what is it?
Think about your surroundings.
Yeah, it's very like
think about who you are. You are able as a Christian to think about who you are, of any person of any faith. I made this argument, which was, you should be able to think literally any thought. Any person of any religion should be able to think literally any thought, and there is no gatekeeping. If you're
gonna live in the marketplace of ideas, you gotta fucking
as we all know, is going through a culture war of ideas.
Right now, yes. Yeah. The whole point of that is the idea that you're free for thought. Your thoughts are free, and you can have them.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be discouraged before you even have the thought.
Yes.
You should have the thought, and then you should debate it. You should do it. And like, as long as your idea doesn't harm other people, I think,
or as long as your idea isn't stop thinking, everybody.
Yeah, then you probably have a good idea if it isn't hurtful or against the idea of ideas,
Exactly. This is just such a strange. Well, okay, it's not strange. It's fascist, is what it is. And it's fascist in the way that this man is basically telling you all of the problems that Bo Burnham in the source material is telling you that are problems. Global warming, racial, and he says this too in the video. I'm not even just like taking shit out of my ass. It's systemic racism, fucking lockdown orders,
whether or not you should stay inside.
Yeah. And just, all of who you are as a person. And he describes that as things that you really don't have to worry about if you have a true connection with God.
Yeah, but the way that he says it, though, specifically makes it seem like the idea of systemic racism is a good thing. At least how it comes across to me, and I assume you as well, Sarah. Is that it doesn't come across to the audience, obviously, that like systemic racism, it's supposed to be that systemic racism isn't real.
Yeah.
And that global warming isn't real, and lockdown orders you shouldn't follow them, and they're dumb, and that you should go outside and not stay inside, Well, I think in a previous example, not that example, it comes across as systemic racism is good. When he doesn't mean that, he means systemic racism is not real. Yeah.
Because he uses an example of a black man being upset about a microaggression and almost crying.
No, I think he was crying.
He pretty much
Yeah.
cries on the, I didn't see tears, so I don't know. But he pretty much is crying. He's visibly upset. And this man laughs at this man.
Microaggressions as a 30-year-old?
Yeah, it was like, this is a grown man being upset about a microaggression.
When he's really upset about
not being
racism.
seen as a person.
Yeah,
because of systemic racism.
Because of racism and systemic oppression, because he's a black gay man, they only focus on the white partner. You know? Like,
exactly. So
it's
that to me is when it comes through as systemic racism is good. But then later, I think that's when it kind of, he implies more so that systemic racism doesn't exist. But he doesn't physically say it. I think he knows that his audience will know that.
Assume that, yeah. That's a very big.
I mean, that in itself shows how much of a hold he has on his audience.
Yeah,
you know,
so.
He's not talking to us. Like, that was not for us.
This was not a video meant to.
This is for
persuade
like 12 people's grandmas that are not speaking to their children anymore because they're crazy.
Yeah, and now it's and the grandma's gonna be like, actually, you shouldn't watch Inside because it gets you away from God.
Yeah, that's something that's gonna be said, and it's all because of this fucking guy.
Yeah, and that's it's very depressing because it's such a good special, as the guy says.
The guy says it's good, but it's like.
He doesn't believe that. I really don't believe that he believes that.
I don't think he's even watched it.
Or at least not all of it. He's definitely seen clips of it and just took from it all. Do you want to go song by song into how he interprets them? Because I think
sure.
That's a very pivotal way to get into the mind of this conservative fascist is how he takes very obviously left-leaning things, very obvious messages, especially in the context of the entire special, and warps it to not be about anything that the special talks about. And the first example, which I feel like if you went to middle school and you took a reading class, it's pretty obvious what the song's about. Welcome to the internet.
Yes.
I think this is the most egregious.
This was the funniest one,
This is the funniest.
This one
that's what makes it egregious.
With laughter.
So the I don't remember the lines are, here's a healthy breakfast option for you. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you should build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids.
Yeah.
And then the next line, could I interest you in everything all the time? Hey guys, what do you think the conservative focuses on in that sentence?
Well, okay.
Is it the incels, the right-wing incels, or the right-wing anti-vax theory?
Yeah, he does very conveniently gloss over the right-wing anti-vax theory.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
It's so funny. He focuses on the could I interest you and everything all of the time. And the critique is, yeah, the internet has a lot of stuff on it.
No, that's not what the critique is. The critique is, well, yeah, if you have everything and all of the time, then all of it means nothing.
Yeah,
because if you don't have a relationship with God,
then it won't mean
everything
anything.
means nothing. It's like such a leap. Even as I'm saying it, I'm like, how do you even connect these two? It's like you're connecting the effects and not the causes. It's so stupid. Like, I can't believe this is a grown-ass man saying these things. And the funniest thing is you can see him like look off or like look at a sheet of paper.
Oh yeah, looking at whatever script's been written.
Which is fine to have a script if you're making a video, but like I love it because he looks at his shit.
He's looked at the script
and he furrows his brow and then says something and he's like, "Yeah, I said it. I don't know.
Buy this leftist Cheers mug so that way it's worth all this fucking."
Legit, like it's just so griftery.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
It's such an obvious fucking grift, and it's so. That one is like it seems like it's the first one. I think that's why it's the funniest because it's so left field.
Yeah,
I was expecting like traditional conservative arguments.
Yeah, I was getting ready. I was like, okay, there are some conservative arguments you could make. Like
you could make, and they'd still be wrong. I think before we recorded this, my argument as to why Bo Burnham's it's infallible from a left-leaning perspective is because the conservative arguments against Bo Burnham are so easily debunkable.
Yeah.
Because the arguments that Bo Burnham makes are so easily defendable in any given circumstance, because they're not even like, it's not like it's pretty basic left-leaning stuff about how you should and how about how capitalism has kind of ruined society.
Yes.
And the products of capitalism is going to continue to ruin society, and global warming's real, and obviously yada yada yada. And then the second thing is, because the conservative cannot argue those without being easily defendable, they have to throw a Hail Mary
and just talk about God.
It's
all about God, baby.
It's either they talk about God or they try to bring up BLM and like Antifa or
critical
something.
Race, whatever or the buzzword
because he brings up critical theory, not critical race theory.
Yeah, just critical theory.
But he wants you to think about critical race theory because that's what they've been talking about every single fucking day for the past 2 months. Because critical theory and critical race theory, the only thing different between them is that one focuses on race, but they're both the same ideological kind of like academic ideology, just one has a focus on race, and both should be taught to people. I don't know why the fuck we're having this argument, but it's obvious that he wants to. It's a very anti-intellectual route that he's taking,
legit,
and the
that's
purpose
what it is.
of God. It's so
conservatives fear the idea of intellectualism so hard because that is the only way to fight fascism.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like it's,
and it's whatever. But like my other thing I was going to say was,
sorry, I railroaded you there.
No, it's okay. Inside is not a political piece.
It's a piece of expression about.
It's satirical. It's satirical of culture.
Yes.
As a whole.
100%.
American culture under quarantine is satirized Inside.
In a way that is so apolitical to an extent that it's satirizing the entirety of the culture, and our culture is made up. We are hyper political right now. We are very political. Every culture has politics in it, but currently in the year of 2020, we were very, very political because that's my bad. I didn't mean apolitical.
I know, but it's social, it's technological. He's going through all of these things to describe a culture as we are living in right now, but it's not a political think piece.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. It's very
no, I understand.
It's to the point where it's like a commoner that even wouldn't call themselves political can understand and agree with it.
So that's why when he says leftist takes, they are Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. And he doesn't go into that because that's not the point of even the song. That is a point that is made that maybe might elicit a strong reaction in some people, but that is the point of the point of the song is that children who are being raised on the internet are being manipulated by companies and now have oversensory issues.
Are oversensitized. They have shitty attention spans. They are bombarded every day from every single from things that are the mundane. It's not even like good versus bad. It's mundane versus bad. It feels like it's very it's just a big distraction too. It's a very
because he's trying to describe that our dependence on the internet is actually anti-intellectual.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes. So that's why this guy is like, I got to take this down.
Yeah, I got to stop this now.
I got to stop this now.
That's interesting.
We don't want people to start thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I remember now a quote that I've seen a lot recently that got spread around on a TikTok about how he talks about how he doesn't really blame teens and kids for being glued to their phones all the time because because the world that boomers and millennials have left for them why would any teen or kid want to look up to it, you know? And it's
Exactly.
and I don't know, I never connected it to the song up until now, but like
It makes total sense, man.
yeah, no, it makes 100% sense. And I guess that's it's just so obvious where he's coming from. And like
It is if you watch the whole thing.
if you watch the whole thing, but because this guy, and we're both kind of, I don't know how much of this guy is like, I don't think this guy's smart.
No, I really do not think this
Andrew,
man is
I'm
smart.
sorry, I don't think you're smart.
Like, I think even like Ben Shapiro probably is smart at home.
Yeah,
and then acts a fool on the internet for money. But like,
yeah,
this
I 100%
guy,
agree.
I severely do not even think he is smart.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's a clear hack.
You can't. I don't think any smart person can say these differentiating ideas and not laugh at himself.
Yeah, I think
Like,
if you're a
that's
smart
just-
person, you wouldn't even touch this. I think it's such a monolith to go against. The monolith being the freakishly tall Bo Burnham, and
is he tall or is the room just small?
But like, yeah, it's such a like. I feel like it's such a that's such a challenge that like not a sane person, regardless of whether or not you're conservative or left, I think the only way you can approach Bo Burnham is if you approach the arguments he makes, and not in this direction, not in this way.
And like an actual critique. I was going to mention my critique of Inside is along the lines of you're critical of capitalism and yet you live in a capitalist society.
Which is, by the way, what that guy does bring up. And I wrote Bo Burnham complainer.
Bo Burnham no, he's saying that he's complaining about all different parts of culture, but he's not offering a solution. So he just comes off as complaining by saying that he makes a really dumb argument that satire
needs to have a point.
Is always negative and always needs to have an option that is better than currently.
Yeah, which is weird. By the way, I want everyone to understand. He said, and I quote, this is a real quote that this man critiquing this comedy special in the worst way possible said, "I do satire. I did satire at the top of the show. I know satire."
And the top of the show was him criticizing philosophy. Maybe there was something before that.
It's probably an excerpt, like when you do when Vosh does a clip from the stream. You know what I mean?
Do you think he like got up in a silly costume, did a little dance? Like, what do you think he did?
So what he did, he got into a clown costume, right? He got the little red nose,
and he just sat there and started talking.
And then he started talking, and he brought up a solution to capitalism, which is more capitalism, and then he took it off, and that was satire. Because he was wearing a clown suit.
He took it off at the end after he finished recording the video, right?
Ayo.
Hey,
he was always a clown.
He was always a clown, baby. Okay.
So okay, that's welcome to the internet. Do you have any more thoughts on welcome to the internet before the next song, which was White Woman Instagram?
I forgot.
Which that was actually
what he said about white women.
White Woman Instagram was about complaining. Actually, that was the argument was.
That was actually a point I was going to make. His complaining about satire, and then he says that satire is mostly negative, which is just blatantly false. Satire can be literally about anything positive or negative. It is just an absurd take on politics or culture. That's what satire is.
In relation to White Woman's Instagram, he's doing the main critique of White Woman Instagram is of white women who performatively act politically for the likes and for the and it's obvious because the one time that there's a serene moment, it's back in its original aspect ratio, but the second that it's about themselves and it's only about how they're perceived, how they are seen by others.
Well, yeah, I think that moment specifically is less about. Some people thought it was about humanizing the white woman. Maybe it could be.
I think I don't think it's about humanizing per se.
Right. I think it's more about how disturbing it is that we post about our trauma on Instagram. Because
I think
then shows it comes back in and you realize it's a post and it's like, oh, she's talking about her dead mom and father
in a post while
in a way to sell her life.
Yeah,
for likes
that's
and
exactly
follows.
what it is, and that's
And it's very disturbing.
But I think the point of that aspect ratio changing is not necessarily to humanize, but to realize that there is
somebody doing this behind the screen.
There's someone doing it behind the screen,
That's
and
a good point.
there's that like nugget of like there is a reality to it, but it gets so we try to overshadow the reality of it through a self-grandizing like it's just a defense mechanism.
It's
I feel
performative.
Like. It's a performative defense of an actual traumatic thing.
Yeah.
That you're using to get likes on Instagram.
Not only are white women performative about their anti-racism, white women are performative about every aspect of their life.
But actually, it's really funny because white women love avocados. And that's what makes it funny. Or I'm a 50-year-old white guy, and I think avocado toast is bad, Chipotle's bad, phone's bad, and my cock is big.
His cock was small, is what he said. This man said his cock was small.
This guy said that like it doesn't. A lot of intellectuals like to use their intellect as if it were their like a big penis, you know. And I don't think it's I don't think a big penis or a big intellect is necessarily a good thing to flaunt. But like if you want to, go ahead, I guess. Something along those lines.
That's some small penis, small intellect energy,
that's some
my guy.
Penis energy.
I'm gonna be honest. If you had a big penis, you would be all about flaunting it. And that's what we're all talking about with our BDE.
Completely off topic.
Yeah.
So, did you see the photo of Charlie Kirk, Tim Pool, and
yes, I did.
in the Discord? So what's
and
your
Tim
take?
Pool's
cock cover.
It's so funny to me that people say that Charlie Kirk is the alpha in that scenario because I was gonna say cock. Vosh is literally
holding them
to like little babies.
Yeah, it's obvious that Vosh is
wearing
the
a
alpha
white
there.
fucking suit, exposing his entire belly and smiling wide for the camera. And Tim Pool is standing there awkwardly holding his cock, and Charlie Kirk is like,
"I just lost.
I just lost."
And that's alpha energy, everybody.
And it's really funny to see like men on Twitter be like, "It's Charlie Kirk because he's tall."
Tall means alpha.
Tall means alpha.
Tall means that you're big intellect and big cock, which I don't think you should really flaunt. But I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah, like if you ever heard a guy say like, "Yeah, you know, fucking big cock havers, fucking talking about it all the time," I don't do that.
I don't do that.
You would be like, "You don't have a big cock, then, right?"
Yeah. Don't got a fat cock. Gotta get him out of here, dude.
Sounds like you don't have a fat cock, bro. Can't relate.
You told me that was your clit. I didn't. Are you not supposed to put the whole clit in your mouth and just go back and forth on it?
But yeah, so white women Instagram, his argument against that was that fucking when you don't have a relationship with God, everything becomes an analysis, and it becomes, look at how absurd everything is because of the lack of morality, implying with the absurdity that everything is absurd and nothing matters. You sort of descend into nihilistic tendencies, and that's what it was. The entire point of white women Instagram is making fun of white women, is what he was trying to say.
Fuck them white women.
Which is hilarious to me, because then if he's saying this is satire and from his definition has to have a negative element, then what he's saying is Bo Burnham getting naked and showing a bunch of pumpkins over him with a projector is implying that white women just shouldn't like pumpkins.
White women,
that's
pumpkins,
the thing.
You're on thin ice.
That's what Bo Burnham was trying to say. It was about pumpkins.
Cheese salad? You fucking heathen.
You're
gonna fucking burn in hell if you like goat cheese salad.
A golden retriever in a flower crown? Are you an animal?
You must be a fucking member of that fascist Antifa movement.
Fuck. It's so stupid. It's so just
dumb.
over this guy's head, man.
Yeah. God. What else did he talk about? Oh, he talked about the suicide message.
Oh, yeah, and then there was a suicide.
Through.
And then he laughs at this man talking about suicide and his suicidal tendencies.
Okay, first of all, the only funny part during that entire suicidal message is the statement, if you're thinking about killing yourself, don't. But mostly because he's saying it in the delivery of that is so good. But then he actually talks about like legitimate, like, try not to kill yourself, please, because
well, I don't think it's. I think that point for me was more like. To me,
I think it's more about his own struggle with the
that's
idea.
What I was
Sorry, that's
say.
what I'm
yeah, no, I get you. But I also think the don't is like on purpose as well for being funny, but also like showing how society treats people who are suicidal.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
as
like
a burden, as a way, as a you know, like a oh my god, you want to kill yourself? Oh, you know, like that shit, which is so stupid.
Yeah,
and you know, yeah, it sucks.
God,
that's such a shitty mentality.
Oh, for 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking
this guy.
He's you know whatever, and then he goes on about like, you know, don't kill yourself. There's so many reasons not to, like implying he can't think of any reason not to kill himself, which that should be something that you think if you were an intelligent person. But this man goes, ha ha, this kid can't think of a reason to kill him, to because not kill himself.
Doesn't believe in God.
That's why.
So the argument and this becomes also the argument for the rest of the video, is that if you don't have that morality from God, if you don't have the good from God, there will never be a reason not to kill yourself.
Well, you put it like that.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Oh shit! Whoops.
No, can I say okay? Can we skip to the last quote that he said? The last fucking thing this guy says, because this ties into it.
Yeah.
So this is verbatim, everybody. This is fucking batum.
This is so funny. I'll do the guitar because it ends. It goes into an outro with
it goes into the YouTube end screen with a fucking rock and roll Nashville, Tennessee fucking guitar, man.
Guitar solo, yeah.
All right, so without God, you're in a dialogue with yourself all the time. That was the last thing. So
no, it wasn't.
Oh, I missed the rest of it. Then what was it?
Okay,
I'll do the guitar solo then.
Okay. So without God, you're in a dialogue with yourself all the time, and there is nowhere to go but deeper and deeper within the darkness within yourself.
Days in the courtroom aren't much fun. Stay for a while, have some fun.
Stay for a while, have some fun.
I don't know if that's what it is, but
Days in the court are which one? Come to the night court, everyone.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm not a Dan Harmon fan. God fucking damn it.
Your
fucking
frowns
bullshit.
on trial.
I sentence you
to stay a while. Night court.
Anyway, like and subscribe, guys.
Like and subscribe, baby.
So yeah, that's how he ends this video.
It's so funny. And I want to mention again at the beginning, he was like, I love my atheist fans.
You're all empty husks of people. You will do nothing good for society. If you fucking come over here, you're a burden to me.
You're going to suffer the same fate as
subscribe
depressed
for more
Bo
full
Burnham.
Episodes.
So
Buy
stupid.
our leftist tears mug. Watch. Destroyed by facts and logic.
So stupid, man.
It's so dumb. Yeah, so I've been thinking about, I've wanted to see a conservative response for like a while now.
Yeah.
Because I was curious what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect it to be this. And
yeah,
I'm kind of happy that it was, though, because
it was really fucking funny.
It just reminds me that conservatives will never understand art.
Yeah.
And they should stop fucking trying.
Stop it.
It's not worth it, man.
I mean, go ahead and like watch and
it,
listen,
enjoy it.
and
Don't
enjoy
interpret it. Don't pretend like you fucking get it. Like,
go to a museum and get mad at a Mark Rothko painting, and
get
then
mad
go
at the
home
urinal
and then beat your wife. You know what I mean?
Do that.
do that because you saw a stripe of paint on a canvas that's a different color that's really big, and then you were like, I could probably do that, and then you go home.
Is that the painting where it's what's the matter with red and blue or something? That's something like that.
It's always just one stripe. That's all it is.
No, something different. There was this artist, and I think somewhere in Europe, I believe, I'm not entirely certain. They made a couple of these paintings that are what's the matter with red, yellow, blue, and it's literally just and I know when I'm going to describe it, it's gonna sound like, oh, I could do that. It's like a top of red, a thin little yellow line that's and a blue, and they're kind of blended together, but they're done in such a specific way that they actually got accepted into multiple museums. It's actually made by I believe a Jewish artist as well.
Oh wow.
But when it was accepted into this museum, people were furious that it got accepted because people thought it was, simplistic. Like, I can't believe you would show this in a fucking museum, to the point where I think either it was a few months or a year or so after it got installed in this one particular museum, it got fucking slashed.
Really?
It got fucking destroyed.
That's hilarious.
The thing is, even though it sounds simplistic, it's red, yellow, and blue. Yeah. They tried to restore it. They fucking couldn't.
Yeah, of course.
They couldn't because of course you can. And apparently he's had other very not similar, but he's had other pieces of his art graffitied and like taken over and like used anti-Semitic shit with it. There's a Jacob Geller video on it about it, and it's very good. I recommend it 100%.
That is something, and Mark Rothko also, and obviously also there's composition.
I don't know if we're talking about the same person, honestly.
I think I don't know. I'm not positive. I don't know if Mark Rothko is Jewish or not, but he does a similar-ish thing.
Is it cool if I look it up real quick? Because I'm curious. Now that it's in my head, but please
there's
continue.
also like composition in red, yellow, and blue, which is a different a sort of a different painting, which is the De Schill sort of movement. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I've never known if I've ever said that right in my entire life. But it's the squares, and they're all asymmetrical, and there's no possible way that painting can be symmetrical, even though it's completely made up of squares, which is just technically a feat. But like, people see that and they think, I can do that shit.
Yeah, everyone thinks that, but no one fucking can, because there's a very specific way of doing it, and there is a and it is all subjective at the end of the day, obviously, but like, I think there is a very technical eye and a very creative eye to very specifically put X and Y where it goes. Also, it is not the same artist. It's actually, the person I'm talking about is by Barnett Newman, between 66 and 70.
Can I see the painting?
Yeah, so this is the one I'm thinking of. It's the rendition of it. This is the one that got destroyed.
Oh wow, interesting.
I think I'll put it up on the screen on the podcast cool. too.
Look up Mark Rothko too.
Oh, this actually did get restored, did it? Oh fuck. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Mark
Rothko.
Ooh, I like these.
Yeah, I know, they're good.
Yeah, I like them. I don't know. Yeah, it seems
people
I
hate
really
them because they think
stupid,
that it's
man. Why do people not like this? I
was introduced to Mark Rothko by somebody who was like, "Look at this fucking Mark Rothko fuck." Who makes this? If you really want to get infuriated at art, go look at this guy. And I went and I looked at it, and I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like it. There's a very nice composition to this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it. I like the colors. I think they're good color choices throughout. Yeah. I think I like the shapes themselves. I like that they're. It's something about them. Also, I think another thing too is that I think any painting like this, and it's on a big canvas, I can automatically tell the effort that goes into it, because I can only assume how many coats it takes to fucking do that too.
Yeah,
I assume it takes a lot of time, effort, and
very difficult to get something very even. You know,
100%.
On canvas,
and like
with any sort of paint, it's very difficult. But it's also like paintings like that make you ask yourself, I can do that. Why can't I do that? It's supposed to make you ask that. You're supposed to think, why didn't I?
What's the difference between me
Why
and
am I
this
not making art right now? And also, if you're angry about it, art is supposed to elicit an emotion.
Yeah.
Angry is an emotion.
Oh, for sure. And I think another question you should ask is why
Am I
are you
angry at colors?
Yeah.
That's something that is very powerful. And it's a lot of why people have like issues with minimalism, even though and it's also why personally I think it's one of the most powerful movements in art that we've seen.
No, I 100% agree.
Because it's just, oh baby. And not minimalism like Kanye's fucking pretentious ass house. Have you seen fucking Kanye's house?
No, I haven't.
Shit's stupid.
I bet.
Shit's dumb.
Performative minimalism where you try to I'm going to use less stuff in general.
No, it's stupid. It's like, you know, this is all about composition and art. Like, you know, I always mentioned the White Stripes where they, you know, they named one of their albums Day Shittle. I can't say the name, but whatever. Fucking, and that was based on that movement of simplicity, but asymmetry, which is beautiful. And they actually put in an asymmetric drum solo from Meg. And when I heard it the first time, I thought it was so beautiful and unique, and one of the most unique drum solos and pieces of music at all that I've ever heard. And Meg White is not a drummer. She was never trained in music or anything. That. She was just a fucking lady. And she
the drums,
performed one of my favorite solos and pieces of all time. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Oh,
and
100%. Yeah.
You know, anybody can make art. And
exactly.
You know,
go make art.
But also, don't think about anything because you have a relationship with God.
Don't make art because you have a relationship with God.
Don't think.
Let me do the thinking for you. I'll do the analysis for you. You just sit back in your chair and let me analyze things you'll never watch, and you get to make your own predisposition ideas from them.
Speaking of not thinking, do you want to talk about...
Speaking of not thinking, I gotta go pee.
Do you want to... But when you come back, speaking of not thinking, do you want to talk about OK Human?
That sounds great to me. We gotta end the OK Trilogy, and we did it today.
We listened to OK Human.
So for those of you who are unaware, we started this as this was a prank on me and from myself.
Yeah, just Josh. Totally not me. Totally not me.
So
in fact, it was actually targeted at me from Josh. Like, hey, you know how you're always showing me crappy shit all the time? Well, now I'm gonna pull the wool over your eyes, Sarah.
No, I think it literally
and then
was
play the victim myself during this fucking episode.
So I think it was. I saw a bunch of TikToks about how bad OK Orchestra was.
Yeah,
and I've heard in general that AJR was bad. So I talked with Sarah. I was like, "Hey, do you want to listen to these and see if they're actually this bad? Because I feel like they can't be this bad."
Yeah,
and that was a fucking mistake. And we listened to all of AJR. Oh, not all of it, only the albums, because that's all that matters. And I'm not going back, and I'm not listening to the fucking EPs. Okay, listen,
you can't.
I don't need to listen to the EPs to know they're shit. Okay,
I don't even know how many EPs there are.
Too many.
Are there a lot?
I think there's like 3.
That's too many.
Right?
It's weird. Do an EP then do an album. Yeah, I don't know.
But like 3 or 5 weeks ago or some shit, we listened to OK Orchestra as well as OK Computer and compared them.
Yeah.
And obviously OK Computer was good because, you know, the name convention's OK Computer, so OK Orchestra. But then we looked it up, or I looked it up, I think, or knew about Weezer.
This is a confusing story because OK Human came out, and I remember it, and I remember being like, "Oh shit, is this about OK Computer?" And then it was like, "Yes, it was," because then Van Weezer came out. We were like, "What the fuck is Weezer doing? They're just doing like."
I only knew about Van Weezer at the time. I didn't know about OK.
No, yeah, I knew all about this shit, and then it came out that. Whatever they were, Alt J, whatever they're called. AJR.
Alt J is something completely different.
Alt J is a good band. But yeah, AJR fucking AJR came out to do OK Orchestra.
And that
it was like
dog shit.
we're just bastardizing the bastardization at this point. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. I am just a copy of a copy of a copy. You know what I'm fucking saying?
And then but I didn't know
nails
about
more like 9-inch snails, you know what I'm fucking saying? Oh shit. 9-inch Weezer, how about Inch nails?
I would pay for that. You know what? I'll still defend Weezer after they do that.
It's gonna be 9-inch nails, 9-inch Weezer, but it all sounds it's all the same songs from this album. Nothing has changed.
You know, ironically, I at some point I was gonna compare it to the Black Parade. I felt like there were some moments that were kind of similar to that from My Chemical Romance. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it might have been piano, and that was the only thing I remember because the Black Parade starts with the piano.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't listen to
like a child.
That shit.
I hear piano, and I'm like, oh yeah, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's funny. Shit,
so
man.
we decided today to finish the OK Trilogy.
Yeah.
What is it? OK Human. I keep calling it OK Weezer, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it that.
We
a lot.
might as well just call it OK Weezer.
OK
I'm okay
Weezer.
with that.
We're gonna call it OK Boomer.
Oh shit. Bro, we need to release an album now called OK Boomer. Why hasn't anybody done that? What the fuck? That's really good.
Because it's actually, I think the title of the song or the single is OK Boomer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's stupid as fuck.
Hold on. Okay.
With what?
Hold on. I'm good.
Weezer did that? OK Boomer?
Well, no. Whoever made the original OK Boomer song.
Oh, that chick Pokimane?
No, it's a different one. It's another fucking chick simp that's trying to get those simps, you know? OK Boomer song. Let me see. Because I know it's a song. A song by Funny Meme Nation.
Damn.
I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Damn, bro, you got the whole squad laughing.
And I'm going to have no reason to not kill myself because I'm not attached to God.
This is a depressing episode, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This is a hilarious episode to me, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, we listened to OK Weezer. Sarah, what are your thoughts on OK Weezer?
I didn't like it. I thought it was bad.
That's fair.
But I think it's better than AJR.
Yeah, and that's I agree 100% on that. I think it's middle of the road. I think it has its moments. I also think it's middle of the road, but I'm more harsh on it for being middle of the road because I just don't think there's any sort of excuse for it at this point. Yeah, and I can understand where you're coming from because I mean, I can see the Radiohead influence just a smidge, and I'm not looking at it as if this were a complete because it is an homage to Radiohead. It's an obvious homage to OK Computer.
Yeah.
I don't know where I want OK Computer to start and Weezer to end, you know, or I don't know how much of a blend I would prefer. I'm kind of judging this as if OK Computer was written by Weezer, would this make sense? And for the most part, I'm like, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I just see it as like, fucking sorry, fucking eye itch.
I know, you're good, don't worry.
But fucking, you know, I just see it as OK Computer in reality, in time, the way time has worked in the history of music. OK Computer came out. It was renowned. It was a big fucking deal. Weezer was under quarantine, saw the shit that was going on, realized that this is like another story similar to OK Computer, was like, okay, let me make an album. I'll call it OK Human. Because it's
the inverse, yeah.
It's the inverse, yeah. And so, like, okay, yes, and this will be very poignant, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still Weezer. So I still have to make this like Weezer.
You have to make it Weezer, yeah.
But I am calling it OK Human, so I do have to have some Radiohead elements. So let me just shove that in there somewhere and basically make this like a giant patchwork of mediocrity. And
I get why that's that it is disappointing.
It's
this
very
album is very disappointing.
You can't
I did have
name your painting like after the Mona Lisa and then not come correct.
Yeah,
with the skills, man.
Not come, but
yeah,
but yeah, no, I think I guess that's it's It's not necessarily acceptable or unacceptable, I guess. It's very much like a I don't know. I'm very conflicted by it. That's why I think I'm still middle of the road, and I can't really I don't know if I should listen to this again, because there are problems. There's some pretty obvious problems. I think the instrumentation is good for the most part. I think there are some moments that feel like AJR.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I think that's when it's mostly there. I think there is a point where it flips and it sounds really good, and then it goes into mediocrity for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I think a lot of the choruses on this album are good, or at least decent.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
I think a lot of the verses are definitely mediocre, and some points pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think the main problem that I have with it is that I crush Mad Puss now, and the last time I listened to Weezer, I did not crush Mad Puss.
Right.
And because of that, I now have a much more critical eye to their lyrics.
Yeah.
All I remember is a reference to 1984.
Yeah.
And I think it's like Call Me the Winston 1984 or something.
Yeah.
And for all I know, it might be a smart line, but every time I hear 1984, it's probably not. But like, I feel like every time I hear 1984 now, it's very much like Dave Rubin's about to explain to me why a socialist written book is about socialism destroying America. Like,
it sucks because it's a good book.
Yeah, no, for sure. I 100% agree. But I feel like I can't hear 1984 anymore without it being just
That's what I'm saying.
Ruined,
yeah, it's like it's a completely ruined good book, but it you know, it's just
it's like I don't know.
Boy,
it's
oh boy. There's a lot of shit. There's like a bird with a broken wing, which I just think that imagery personally is very emo. And the fucking Dead Roses. At some point, I'm crying over Dead Roses, and I'm like, "How old are you?" And you know,
hashtag deep, dude.
Yeah, it's like I'm 14, and this is deep imagery, and I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I expected a little more.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the ways I'm looking at this is Weezer is like a 20-year-old band now.
Yeah,
these are people in their 40s.
These are rock star legends.
Legends, and it's very obvious that they're trying super hard to like push their music out to like preteens, kids, teens, whoever the fuck. And that's the problem with this, is that it's Radiohead. You made a point before we started recording. Yeah, that good music doesn't have an age.
Yeah, it doesn't have a barrier to it. There's no gate to it.
There's no barrier. There's no gate.
Yeah.
That being said, I think there are some places or some there are probably 1,000 number out of my ass, a bunch of people that would probably not want their kids listening to Radiohead, but would probably let them listen to Weezer. Or kids that would not necessarily have a pretense to want to go listen to Radiohead, but listen to Weezer. You made also another point. I don't know. I'm taking all your points and just restating them. That's sorry.
Fine. No, go ahead.
You made a point that you think that a lot of Radiohead fans would be Weezer fans, but not necessarily Weezer fans being Radiohead fans. And I think that's how they were operating. Weezer, when they wrote this, is they're focusing on Weezer fans. And they like Radiohead, I assume. I hope. I don't think any musician probably doesn't like Radiohead. Yeah. Unless they're a fucking moron.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I think I give it a little bit more leeway in the Radiohead department because, which sucks because I know it's a marketing technique. Yeah. And I know it's very fucking capitalistic. Yes. But they want to make music and they want to try and at least implant the idea of the words OK blank. And then, you know,
go listen to
hopefully
Radiohead.
They'll go to Radiohead. Yeah. So I can understand that. But that's my general. Sorry if I railroaded you again. I don't know why I'm talking so much today.
No, it's all right. Fucking I can see that being a possibility. I just think at that point you should do a better job.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
That's 100% fair.
At that point, you should try harder to make better music then.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to connect more with kids. And if that's your goal, is to get them to listen to Radiohead, then do that.
A good job
Do a
bringing
good job
Radiohead. Yeah.
bringing Radiohead out and not Weezer. You know?
Yeah.
Or also, like, when I was a kid and I really liked a band, and I would go and like watch interviews of the person or the band, to sort of like understand how they were like and blah blah blah. And if that artist mentioned another artist, then I would go listen to that artist. I think there are like other ways to do that rather than just expound upon another band's complete idea and then do a not great job at it. You know what I mean? And that is my personal opinion. There's a lot with Weezer that I just kind of don't really like anymore, which is
me neither.
The simplistic melodies.
Yeah.
Their arrangements a lot really reminded me about shit I played in middle school. And that's not even like me flexing. Like, I went to a shitty middle school with a shitty orchestra. You know, we were just playing like Elliot Del Borgo stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that was a similar amount of arrangement that is in this Weezer album. And that was just kind of shocking to me because fuck, man, I don't really see Weezer as like composers. But if they are going to try and pull this skill out of their bag, I would have hoped that they did more research.
Yeah, and I mean,
put more effort in.
I will say that after you saying it, I definitely see it being simplistic, and I definitely understand that. I still think it's kind of okay, though. I think it's kind of...
I think it's fine, yeah.
I think it's still... I think it works in its own simplistic way. Would it be better if they had gone a little bit harder? Yes. I will definitely agree to that. I think, I guess the more I do think about it, I am a little bit more amicable to the idea that like they should have done Radiohead more justice.
Yeah.
That being, God, I'm still conflicted. I mean,
yeah,
because like I don't know, it's like I really, because when I think of like the now I can't even like bring up like the Community homages because those are all really good homages, you know, and like I really do enjoy them. And the one time they had a subpar homage was the Puppet one, and that was in the fourth season. That was in the fourth season.
Gaslight Cure.
Yeah. So like, God, but like even then with the Puppet one, I at least appreciated the effort. I feel like, you know, there is this underlying appreciation I do have for Weezer, even though I will never listen to like their
new stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I'll listen to their new stuff. I might give like Van Weezer a try, honestly. I feel like I'm more... I wouldn't mind
From
listening.
what I understood, the lyrics were still cringy, but the guitar work was pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably...
And that's kind of similar to this, where like the lyrics are cringy,
but there's
the arrangement
some really good
was
arrangement, yeah. I will say there's one...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's one song that like stood out to us. I don't know which one.
I forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's also something that is like...
Well, I think that's a mistake on my end. I didn't actually stop the songs in between. We did that with AJR, and I said which song was which.
Yeah.
There was I guess, which is technically a good thing because the whole point of OK Computer is that there's a storyline throughout, and you can tell that there is. This has that. This does have some sort of storyline, and it does merge song to song pretty decently, which I will give credit to because I've heard what happens when you don't have that.
I mean, yeah, but the bar is on the floor.
The bar is on the floor. Yeah, the bar is on the floor, and I mean, I'm happy that they were able to lob their 40-year-old body over it.
Yeah, I mean, well, the problem with this is like back when I said about AJR, it's, you know, we have to clap because the goldfish touched the bark when the task was to climb a tree. Weezer is a monkey. And it didn't get up the tree. You know, that's how I feel. Is like it swung from the tree and then it ran away. And then it's like... And it's like, you can't judge them still by, at least they touch the bark.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they have more capabilities than that, I feel like.
Yeah, and they do. I don't know. I guess it's just, this album is just more, it is disappointing.
Yeah.
And it's very, and I guess that's why, I feel like they got to a branch on the tree with that one song.
Yeah.
To the point where I think I was arguing that maybe it could be placed in like their greatest hits.
Yeah, you were.
And honestly, because I only know 5 Weezer songs, I think.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
because like I don't know, I feel like if in 20 years when Weezer is old and decrepit and they're considered classic rock, there's going to eventually be some sort of greatest hits record in vinyl. It's going to be $150 and you got to buy it. And it won't be on Spotify because they're fucking boomers.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that song in particular was on it. I would be upset if any other song from this album was on it, but I wouldn't be upset if that song that we liked was on it.
Yeah, it makes sense that it would be like in the lower half or something.
Yeah, you know, so like I mean there is that one good song and 2 bad songs in the beginning, I think, if I'm correct. I'm not really sure.
It's the piano song. That's the only one I remember as being really fucking bad. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was really bad. That was really fucking bad. But also like it was bad in a way that made me laugh. It didn't make me want. I think I wonder if they did that on purpose sometimes. I
don't think so, man.
That was
the name and the fucking chorus of the song.
But they brought so much attention to it. I feel like I don't know. I wonder if there's like some weird like
because he ends that song though with you know, I'm gonna lock myself in my room and there's going to be like an explosion outside. That's what it is. He's talking about quarantine and then being on his piano being the only thing that saves him. And it's so personal, it can't be a satire, or else he would have made a fucking joke at some point. Other than the joke being how bad the song is. Like,
I mean, okay, yeah, and that's fair. I will say though, there was a bit of an enjoyability for me laughing at that song, as opposed to AJR songs all being so bad that they're not funny.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of like if Corey Feldman had a track on this, and I just kind of got to giggle a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't give Corey Feldman a 7.
Well, I'm giving Weezer a 5 right now.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 3.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. It's very much I don't know. It's just really interesting watching all these people. I wonder now, because it happened twice this year. We had 2 OK albums.
I don't want to hear another.
Is there going to be a third one?
I don't want another one.
There has to be.
Can you leave Radiohead alone?
No, we can't. Because
like, please, somebody do that.
What if Corey Feldman did an OK? OK, Mr. Roboto. And then he does.
It's Styx and also Radiohead.
Styx meets Radiohead.
That's fucking crazy.
I'd want to listen to that for some reason. I don't know why.
God, that would suck. Honestly,
Corey Feldman.
That would probably sound a lot
Styx.
like this Weezer album, because the fucking main piano guy with Styx was a fucking egotistical maniac. So funny.
You think there would be 2 songs about playing piano?
I mean, you know. Something about fucking sailing away with in a spaceship with aliens.
This is what you get when you mess with robots. Bam, 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 bam.
And we headed for the skies. Fucking love that song. God damn it. Fucking go listen to the B-sides of Styx, guys. That's another thing. Go listen to that shit, because there were 2 songwriters on that band. It was the guitarist and the fucking pianist, and you can tell
who wrote what,
because that shit is ooh baby. Guitarist was just talking about fucking bitches and drinking beer, and then the piano guy was talking about Mr. Roboto and getting in a spaceship.
Fuck yeah,
and
dude.
it was so dope, and no wonder they fucking broke up. Are you kidding me?
There's a very clear
Well, they also broke up mostly because the Mr. Roboto tour was a rock opera, and the opera fucking nobody went to go see it because it was bullshit.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking bad.
And I mean, that's how we got Mr. Roboto, and now that guy has to perform that song all by himself,
and that's the price you pay.
That's the price you pay for making bad art.
Wow.
Oops.
What a way to end that sentence. Do you think...
Hey, Josh, for my scathing criticism, why don't you ask me what I've made?
So what have you made?
Nothing. I've made nothing.
No,
but
I
you
was
can
gonna
follow
say-
me on Twitter at SQUINTON271.
Do you think if Styx had a relationship with God, do you think it would have come out a little bit better?
I'm pretty sure they did, actually. I think they were Christian.
Oh, so you're telling me that
rockers.
if they didn't have a relationship with God.
Well, because any rocker back then that didn't have a relationship with God talked about not having a relationship with
That's
God.
true. Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's fair.
they most likely are like Christian dads now with like 6 kids.
Rock and roll. That's what rock and roll is really about. Having a family.
Vacation homing and
Rock and
Celebration,
roll is
Florida.
about being a member of the Fast and Furious family.
Why wasn't The Rock in a rock band?
Because God's abandoned us, Sarah.
Wow. What simulation are we in that happened?
Do you think?
What monkey on a typewriter made that decision?
Do you think there was ever a decision by the Rolls-Royce company to try and get The Rock on the hood of one of their cars with a guitar and say "Rock and Rolls-Royce"? That's the car company, right? Am I? Is this joke not landing, guys?
Why wouldn't he just say rock and roll and have the car roll along?
Ah, there you go. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a fucking sellout corporate advertiser.
And I am.
That's how we get so many likes on TikTok. Is that Sarah optimizes
I
our
buy them.
SEO?
I buy them.
You buy likes.
I buy likes. What the fuck is this
show?
podcast? Yeah.
Is it obvious that
It's late
it's 1:14?
and Josh has to go home like soon.
Rock and roll is when you stay up late past your bedtime, kids.
Yeah, kids. I don't know. Let's go.
Let's end it
end.
here. Sarah, what do you want
Goodbye.
to plug? What do you want to plug?
I had Twitter, which I already did twice, but it's SQUINTON271.
Joshua Chinlin on Twitter and a guy named JC on Twitch and APWSTR on TikTok.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to plug today. That's all you get.
That's all you fucking get.
We're drained, tired,
Yeah.
young, dumb, and full of not God.
Not God. Not full of God. Fuck God.
Fuck God.
God can suck my ass. I was
We
going to
love
say
you,
that
God.
at the beginning of the show and I forgot.
You forgot to say God can suck my ass.
God can suck my ass.
We love you guys. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
All right, we got to come up with an outro.
God fucking damn.
Yeah, we do. This is the outro podcast.
So much to do with this
I
podcast.
know,
What the
man.
fuck,
God,
man?
who made that decision? But the boys upstairs, they need an outro.
The boys upstairs.
My hands are tied, Sarah. I can't control how this podcast
The
goes.
CEO of APWSTR, Jeffrey Bezos, needs us to do an outro.